All right, what's going on, guys? It's GSR here. So basically, I wanted to teach you guys how you can actually beat Shang Tsung's Burning Evil String and his Ground Eruption as Jax. Now, this is different for other characters. Some characters have better chances of hitting Shang Tsung and stuff like that. Other characters kind of struggle a little bit. Jax is a prime example of that. He's going to have to really think outside the box. He's going to have to think because he struggles against characters that can zone him out and characters that can space him out. So you're going to have to find creative ways to get in, and you're going to have to play a little bit of footsies with Jax. But once Jax gets in, that's when he's playing MKX to the fullest potential. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright guys, so if Shang Tsung tries to stagger his 4-2, right? So if he tries to stagger his 4-2, he literally is -3 on block. So if he goes for a standing 1 because he's trying to go for an abare or a down 1, it starts up at 7 frames. So if we do -3 plus 8 frames, right, it will no longer be 8 frames, right? It'll be 11 frames. So 9, 10, 11. So I can beat him out with my 9-frame mid, so he has to take that into consideration. Even if he was to go for a down 1, which is 1 frame faster than a standing 1, it would be 10 frames, right? So he's still not in the correct position to challenge me anyway, because my 9-frame mid will shut him out. So he's going to end up respecting, and then that causes a serious dilemma, because now Jax can literally do shit like this, throw him and stuff like that, and then obviously the Shang Tsung player is not going to like that idea, so they're going to try and challenge and stuff like that. And if you predict that they're going to neutral crouch and try to mash an uppercut because they think that you're going to go for a throw, you can neutral crouch and then uppercut them. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot of counterplay here that's happening here. There's some footsies. Well, this is pretty much footsies in a way, to a certain degree, right? What else is there? The Shang Tsung player is just going to have to respect, pretty much. Now, if he tries to space this out, like he tries to space out his 4-2 and stuff like that, he becomes like, what? Instead of like -3, he becomes like -1. Yeah. So he can now go into an abare. So if you spaced it out correctly like that, which is kind of rare, but if you manage to do that, you need to remember his frame data, and you could possibly go for an abare and challenge Jax afterwards if he tries to go for like a mid or something like that. So there's that particular situation, right? But if he spaces this out, like, or even if he tries to space this out, like, he's still -11. So there's nothing he can do here, because if he tries to move backwards, if he tries to do anything, he's just in trouble. Like he'll get fucked up. Try to backdash, he'll get fucked up in the process. Like I can literally just do this and fuck him up every single time. He's just not in the correct position to press any button. So it doesn't matter if he jumps or anything like that. He will get beat out every single time. So that's pretty much the situation with his 4-2, and then, you know, him committing into, you know, pretty much his 4-2-4, because remember, he's -11 on block, right? Now, he is going to try and create a mind game to where he's going to stagger, he's going to do all that, and then he's going to try and make himself plus on block. But before I get to that, you need to watch out from this string right here, because if he ends up knocking you away, right, this sets up some serious problems, right? So this allows him to zone and do this annoying faggot ass shit right here. And then when he knocks you far away, he can go and become plus on block. So if Jax was on auto block, right, and I knew he was going to block afterwards because he's watching out for my projectiles, I become +5. You see that? Before he least expects it, right? So if he thinks that I'm going to, you know, end up, you know, committing into this, right, he's probably going to neutral crouch and try to uppercut me, which would be the best response to show him, like, look, dude, you're not going to get away with that. But if I dash up like this, he's going to get hit with the overhead. Now, if he blocks this, then I'm -7 on block, which creates a mind game, because that creates a mid and a throwing situation for Jax, right? So now Jax has the upper hand here, and now you have to guess on that again. So you get the idea here, right? So you will notice a difference, though, because if you look at the running animation, like, he leans in for a brief moment. You see that? He leans in. You see that? So you're not going to always get this. You know what I'm saying? We're all human. We're not going to always be able to react to something like this. But if you do see him lean in like this, then you already know what it is. And if he does this, like, you see that? Like, he didn't lean in at all. Like, you see that? He did not lean in at all. But the problem is that it's the same running animation, and it looks kind of the same. So one's longer than the other one, so just, you know, be on the lookout for that. So that's pretty much that situation. And then on top of that, like, he's -5, so he's pretty safe to where he can stop you from going for a throw or a high. So just keep that in mind. And what else is there? Yeah, that's pretty much it with, like, the situation here, but if he tries to go for a plus situation, right? Actually, let me switch back over. I just fucked it up. But if he tries to go for a plus situation, right, you can flawless block him, and keep in mind, he's +4 on block when he does this, but he is -6 to where you can create a mind game with your mid, or you can throw the opponent and stuff like that and create that situation again, because Jax has an amazing 9-frame mid that he can stagger, so that causes a problem. Now, every character in the game can pretty much do this. It's pretty much universal. Pretty much every character can do this. Every character can flawless block. It's different for every character. Johnny Cage, since he's the special one, he can cancel and then go for his nut punch and stuff if you can time it correctly. But you can go for your up 3 if you want the hit advantage with Jax to continue more pressure and go for staggers, or you can go for an up 2 and then, you know, do whatever type of fancy ass combo that you want, right? So there's that particular situation in itself. And now we're going to talk about the mind game with his plus situation and his ground eruption. Alright guys, so when Shang Tsung goes for this ground eruption, there's a reason why he's doing that. If you pay close attention to his plus situation, there's a flawless block gap in it. But if you pay close attention right here, the first hit of that ground eruption has no flawless block gap in it. So if you try to flawless block, what do you do when you flawless block? You let go of guard, and then you try to time the attack correctly, and then you try to tap guard like this, right? So when you do that, you're letting go of guard. So he sits here and you think he's going to go for a plus situation, right? And you let go of guard for a brief moment, and look what happens. Which means what? That means that this character can put you into a combo and then fuck your life up, right? So you let go of guard, right? You're like, okay, he's going to go for it. And look what happens. Now you're going to get put into a combo and then knocked way the fuck back over here. And then, you know, he's obviously going to do that and then keep you far away from him. So that causes a serious dilemma for you, because now you're like, okay, I do not want this shit happening to me. And you need to make good reads. Now, this is all a mind game at the end of the day, but some of this stuff is kind of reactable to a certain degree. But if he ends up doing this, there's quite a few options that Jax has here. But then again, there's going to be some footsies being played here. There's definitely going to be some footsies being played here, right, for Jax, right, and for Shang Tsung too. So what happens here is that Jax, he has the advantage here because he can go for his back forward too if he doesn't want to deal with that shit, which obviously you can do that, but look at the range. So you're gonna have to dash in against this character before he gets up, and you can get in and stuff like that. And Jax, he can dash a lot faster than this, but you know, I'm using my broken controller, so you know, it is what it is. But yeah, he can dash in really quickly and close the distance and stuff like that, or close the gap between the both of them, so that way Shang Tsung can't start up that faggot ass zoning that he has access to. So what happens here is that Shang Tsung is going to commit into the string that I told you guys about, which is his 4-2-4 3 string, right? So because he's not going to like the idea that you're doing that. So if you fuck up, right, you know, you could possibly get hit, but then again, it's like you could see that shit coming. So what is Jax's options here, right? If he misses out on his back 4-2, right? If he does this, you can flawless block the second hit, right? And if you're fast enough, you can get a punish like this, and if you're stuck into the corner or something, you can push him out the corner, or you can switch sides with him. So mainly you're going to go for Jax's back 1. And another thing is, this is pretty much universal again for a lot of different characters. A lot of different characters can do this to Shang Tsung, but Jax has one of the best fatal blows, so obviously he can do something like this and pretty much fuck your life up, and he's super close to you to where he can whip punish you, and if you fuck up, guess what? Say goodbye to your head meat. You understand what I'm saying? And then he can fuck you up, and you get the idea here, right? So, like I said, you can flawless block, do this. If you can do shit like this with Jax, push the opponent closer to the corner, call it a day, and stuff like that, right? Now, if you fuck up with the flawless block gap, you still have an option here. You can go for your back forward too. If Shang Tsung was to press a button right there, right, because he's just standing there and he's trying to press a standing 1 or something like that because he's super minus on block, he will get hit. Now, this is where footsies become a little bit more advanced, because here's the thing. A lot of people think that footsies is just simply whiff punishing then, when that's not entirely true, okay? That's not entirely true. I might make a video talking about that, but for right now, you're just going to see some examples here, right? So if Shang Tsung was to time his down 1 correctly, he could stop Jax from going for his back forward 2, but you have to time it correctly in order for it to work, right? So let me see if I can get this for you guys, right? If it's timed correctly, it doesn't matter if Jax goes for a reversal, he will get punished out. So the way that this will work, let me see here. Let me see if I can time this. Kind of hard to time it when you're recording, but okay. So let me see if this is going to work. See that? You see what happened? I tried to go for a reversal and it didn't work. You see that shit? See that? So if Shang Tsung spaces out his forward 2 correctly, or at least even a little bit to where he has enough distance to where he can challenge you from doing that back forward 2, this is what's going to happen. You see that shit? So we need to see what happens if Jax does this. See that? Jax gets beat out. This is where Footsies come into play. Now, I hate to say it, but zoners, they play Footsies too when it comes to their zoning, because even though they're this minus on block, they can still press a button because of all the space between the both of you. And if you don't have the correct normal to deal with something like this, then they can get away with shit like this. This is where Footsies become really advanced and stuff like that. And there's just a lot of shit that people don't understand, because people have this misconception where they think that it's simply whiff punishing and just going like this, walking back and forth and playing inside of my range, and then you whiff punish me and stuff. That's not entirely true. Now, if Shang Tsung was to do this, right, look at his down 1. Recovery is 13 frames. So if I know he's going to do that, I can easily dash up with Jax's 4-2 that starts up at 12 frames, and I can challenge him because he's trying to go for that. Now, I can literally do this and beat him out immediately because he is still minus on block, or I can wait until he whiffs, right? And when he whiffs, I can actually get a punish, but I have to time it correctly. You understand what I'm saying? And hold on, let me show you guys this real quick, because I'm trying to multitask and shit, and I'm using this broken controller. Come on, let me try this. See that? And then I can stay in close, and this is really good for Jax. So if Shang Tsung ends up getting hit with that, one thing that he can do is that he can actually back up like this and then go for a standing 1, right? So if I do this, hold on, let me see if I can show you guys this, right? Let me see, somewhere around that area. Okay. Let's see here. Boom, boom. Okay, hopefully that was good enough. So if he does this, right, and I do this, Shang Tsung can get a standing 1 out, but I have to figure out the timing for this. Holy shit, this is kind of hard. Let's see here. Hopefully that worked. Come on. There it is. There it is. Okay, cool. I knew I did it right that time. All right, so this is what happens. Right, and if Jax is not like on point and stuff, and he fucks up because he thinks that Shang Tsung's just gonna sit in that one area and go for his down 1, what's gonna happen is that Jax is gonna fuck around and whiff, and they might end up trading, or Shang Tsung's gonna beat him out clean. And the thing is, Jax is gonna think he's gonna sit right there, so he's obviously gonna do something like that, and he's gonna end up getting punished in the process, right? So this sets up a certain area. This sets up certain things for Shang Tsung. And it sets up stuff for Jax too, because it creates this mind game to where you have to figure out what the player's going to do. And if you fuck up, then this is what's going to happen. You see that? So what happens here is that if Jax knows that Shang Tsung is going to do something like that, Jax can do that. And if Shang Tsung was to press his button a little bit too early because he thought Jax was going to commit into his forward 2 and dash up and commit into his forward 2, Jax can get a crushing blow with the second hit of his back forward 2, right? So this causes a problem for Shang Tsung. Right, so that's a little bit of like footsie play and stuff like that. It's a lot more deeper than what people think, and the reason why I was talking about that is because footsies is being applied here a little bit. But once Jax gets in, he's playing MKX to the fullest potential. There's no doubt about it. At this point, he's not even playing the game's meta. This is pretty much how you deal with Shang Tsung's ground eruption and his burning evil string. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, burning evil string. Let me see, because I don't want to be wrong about that. Fuck this video up. Yeah, burning evil string. Yeah, so he's going to create a mind game with that stuff. And the thing about Shang Tsung is that if he manages to put you into a combo of his choosing, right, and you end up just getting hit with his ground eruption, he could do shit like that. Like, he could keep you far away from him. And obviously nobody's going to like that, especially if you're using Jax. You're not going to like that shit. So he can, like, you know, he could just use this and then knock you far away. I don't know why it's not coming out every time I do that, but it's whatever. So he can also trade with you like this, and what I mean by trade with you, he can switch into you like this and get a damage buff, and then he can get like a lot more damage than what Jax can. And if he had heated up arms, that would do probably like 18, probably 17%. Actually, let me see that. Actually, I'm kind of curious now. Okay, so he just gets a little bit more damage on there. Okay, I thought it was going to be a little bit higher than that, but it's not. Okay, that's kind of a bummer. That would be interesting if he had something like that. But anyway, so yeah, Shang Tsung can do stuff like this, and, you know, obviously he can knock you far away, and then that starts up his annoying ass zoning again, and then Jax has to do this all over again. And if he doesn't have heated up arms, he's going to have to try and make a trade. He's probably going to have to sacrifice some damage, but he's going to have to trade to knock this dude on his ass, so that way he can get in, because Shang Tsung is going to try his best to keep keep him out because Shang Tsung is an annoying faggot ass zoner. So, you know, you get the idea here. So this is pretty much how Jax can pretty much deal with Shang Tsung's Burning Evil String and his Ground Eruption. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. And like I said, Footsies is it is being applied here to a certain degree, but once Jax gets in, he's not even playing the game's meta at this point. He's really not. So that's when Jax becomes unbelievably dangerous, and that's when you really need to worry. That's when the staggers come into play and the mind games and, you know, the whole 9 yards. And like I said, people have this misconception where they think that Footsies is just simply whiff punishing based on what my recovery is and stuff like that, and that's not entirely true. Footsies is applied here as well, what I've been showing you guys right here. So you know, this video is going on way too long, but I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I love each and every last one of you guys. Thank you for all the love and support. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.